Hey there, Fletch from All Things Overlanding here. On today's video, I can barely contain my excitement because I just got a bunch of new Last US Bags gear in, and it is all like the stuff that I've been dreaming of forever, and they released this stuff, and so I had to have it all. And I want to show it to you guys because it is like the coolest. I love Last US Bags in so many ways because they make the coolest gear and they really take into account what we as overlanders sort of have challenges with and what we need. And then they build this stuff that is perfect, like purpose built for what we need. So today I'm going to be talking about one of those bags. I'm going to be talking about the Last US Bags Rooftop Pannier. And I'm going to show you all the features of this thing. This thing is awesome. If you have questions about it and you own this bag, I've learned a lot about it since I got it. I've actually gone and done some research and kind of figured out everything about it. So I'm going to share all that with you. I'm going to show you the features of it. If you're thinking about getting this bag, I highly recommend it. It's amazing. Link in the description down below for where you can go buy one. But if you need something that is a day pack / shoe bag for your rooftop tent or for backpacking or whatever, this is a fantastic option. It is amazing. And I'm going to show you why in just a second. So let's get into it. All Things Overlanding is brought to you by Red Arc, Power Management Solutions, Rugged Bound Supply Company, Rooftop Tents, Awnings, Roof Racks, and more. Overland Addict, Premium Overland Gear. Last US Bag, Overlanding Bags and Equipment. Northology Overland, Trips, and a monthly Overlanding magazine. All of these companies are really amazing, so I highly recommend you click through the links in the description below to learn more about each of them. Alright guys, so as I mentioned, so excited about this gear, and I'll show you why and you'll see why here in a second, but Last US Bag stuff, man, I just can't get enough of it. It's so cool. It's just like the coolest swag to have as an overlander, and it's so functional and has such great features, and it's so well made that it lasts forever, right? So like, I'm just super excited to like really use this thing. Again, I just got it, so it's brand new. It's still shiny and pretty. I haven't even put shoes in it yet, which I really want to do, but I also feel bad doing it because it's so pretty. But this is the Rooftop Pannier bag. The purpose of this bag is twofold. Basically, what this bag is intended for is to be like a shoe bag that you would affix to the outside of a rooftop tent, for example. So when you climb up there, you have a spot to put your shoes down in that is waterproof, that has a cover over it, right? That's going to keep your stuff dry and clean. And then the other dual feature of it is during the day, you can strap these straps up and you can actually use this as like a drainable daypack. So I'll give you a perfect example. Recently, my family and I went to Tennessee, and we were hiking through some rivers, creeks, whatever they were. And, you know, the kids had on like flip-flops or Crocs, and they're running around, and then they want to get in the creek. And they're throwing their shoes everywhere, and their shirts everywhere, and their socks everywhere, and they're making a huge mess, right? And we're going to lose stuff. One kid left it across on the other side of the creek. With something like this, you could just throw all your wet stuff inside of it. And then here's the cool thing. I'm going to start with this feature first because I keep talking about the draining ability. There is a zipper that runs all the way along the bottom of this bag. And let me show you what that does. One, you can sort of see that it's a fairly narrow bag just from the get-go, from the start. However, here's the cool thing. If you have bigger feet, bigger shoes, or again, lots of gear that you want to store in this thing, unzip the zipper on the bottom and boom. It has this vinyl coated mesh. And look how much wider that gets, right? So if you've got your shoes, or if you've got, again, big feet and you got some boots or something you need to put down in there, this thing expands massively at the bottom. But again, it's like that waterproof sort of vinyl mesh stuff on the bottom, which is amazing. So you can, you know, again, throw dirty shoes in there, throw wet shoes in there, let them drain out overnight, throw a wet shirt in there, let it dry out and drain out overnight. Well, no more water gets introduced because, again, this is all waterproof here at the top. And I just think that's super cool. I will say, so I have a rugged bound tent right now, and I'll maybe try and throw up some like pictures or video here over top. The only sort of complaint I have about that is it comes with a shoe bag that's attached to my ladder, but it's like one of those shoe bags that you would get in like college, you know, like those things that like my wife hung on the back of her door that had the little pockets and it had like 20 of them, so she'd keep all her shoes on the back of her dorm room door. It's like one of those things. Which means that if it rains, that water just flows down in there and soaks all your stuff, right? So it will hold shoes. It serves its function, but that is like the only thing on the whole tent that I'm kind of like, yeah, I'm not really going to use that, right? That is why I got this, because this is going to replace that. This is going to be my shoe bag from now on for the rest of my life because this thing is amazing. So we've covered the mesh bottom and the fact that you can zip it in and out. You could, keep it as a normal day pack, expand it out, put your big shoes in it, let them drain out. Here are some other cool features, right? So of course they've got their beautiful, patch logo on here. I love just like the little color touches. I know I'm being weird and vain, but I just think it's cool. I just think making it look nice to me is important because this thing's going to hang on my truck, right? Like I don't want it to look like a piece of crap, and it's something that's made in the U.S., so I want to be proud of it. But so it's got this clip here that keeps it all, cinched down. Before I open that up too, though, there is a pocket right here with like a double sealed zipper. So it's kind of got that like, waterproofy material that goes over it that prevents water from going into it. And it also has the vinyl covered mesh on the inside. So if you did have something else, let's say that you dropped something on the ground, like your keys or something, and it got wet, you could put those in here and they will still drain out down into the bag and through the bottom, right? What I will probably honestly use this for is throwing, like, again, I'm out in the middle of nowhere, right? If I was in a campground, I wouldn't do this. But if I'm out in the middle of nowhere, toss my wallet, my keys, my, phone, that sort of stuff down in here. Just keep them dry. Again, if you're worried about security, don't do that, right? But if you're out in the middle of nowhere and you're not expecting to see anybody all night and you're going to hear a truck pull up because you're, by yourself, miles and miles away from everybody, probably not a big deal. But it'll keep your stuff dry. It'll keep them with my shoes. Generally, I throw my keys in my shoes anyways. So this just gives me like a dedicated waterproof place to put that. So now that we've covered that pocket and this top here, let me open it up. Cool feature here. On the sides here, you'll see there's an elastic strap. So when you're putting your shoes in there, you can sort of stretch it and give yourself more room to slide them down in there. But then when you strap this thing up at night, it ensures that, you don't have like a flap hanging out here that's going to catch water and soak all your stuff. It ensures that everything gets tucked up and pulled underneath that lid, which is awesome. Great thought, right? Like I just love the way that they think about this stuff. They put a ton of like really good thought and creativity into designing these things, which I just think is really neat. But so then down in there, of course, it's got plenty of room for at least a couple pairs of shoes. Or if you have really big feet and you're wearing boots again, with the thing unzipped in the bottom, you've got a ton of room, right? So you may ask, how do you affix this, right? Like, how am I going to attach this to my rooftop tent? Okay, it's got the backpack straps. Hypothetically, you could just loop this over like a rail of your roof rack and you could hang it that way. However, again, like I said, they think of everything. So check out these options that they've got. So this bag comes with a Keter rail option. I was not really familiar with this before I had this bag. I had to look it up just to see like, what do I use this for? My tent does not have a Keter rail on it. I'll put the name up here so you know how to spell it and stuff. Again, I'll put a link in the description too to like options for where you can get this stuff. But so a lot of rooftop tents do have like a Keter rail for like awning stuff, lights, that sort of stuff. A lot of times I've heard of it being used for like mounting lights up. But you basically just slide this inside of a channel, right? And then this would just hang down like that. And then you would, just unclip the little clip right here and you would just clip it in like that. So then boom, it goes from day pack to hanging on the side of your rooftop tent, which is awesome. So that's one option. Again, I don't have this option, so I'm not going to use it. But the other cool option is they come with these little carabiner hooks that clip right into it, and then you can hook it to whatever you want. You can hook it to a string, you could hook it to a guy line on your tarp that goes over the top of your hammock. You could, attach it to your awning, you could attach it to your roof rack. There's a million different ways that you could use this. Take a piece of paracord, tie it to a tree, boom, click this up there and you're good to go, right? So I love that, and these can store in this cover here too, so you always have them with you. But so those are the big features of this bag. Again, if you are looking for like a top-of-the-line, long-lasting, well-designed, well-built shoe bag, I mean, this is a crazy option. There's a ton of junk out there on Amazon, and you guys know me, I'm cheap. I actually bought a like $12 set of 4 shoe bags before this existed. I bought these 4 cheap, crappy shoe bags from China or whatever, and they were like 12 or 15 bucks. And I was like, wow, that's so cheap. Like, even if they suck, then I'm not out that much. And I get these things, and I kid you not, they are so small. I have like size 10 and a half, 11 feet, like not huge feet, but not little kids' feet either. And these bags arrived, and I mean, I couldn't put my 11-year-old shoes in them. They were so small. And on top of that, I don't think they're actually waterproof. They're really cheaply made. They have 0 features, right? Like, it's literally like a bag with a flap that just sits over it. If a strong wind came along in the middle of the night, your flap is open and your rain is pouring down into your stuff and soaking your shoes. So I never even used them. I literally took them out of the bag. I tried to return them, but it took me too long and I was too late, so I couldn't return them. But so like, again, there are a lot of cheap options out there, but if you are looking for like a buy once, cry once, like best of the best, something that you will use for a really long time, that will last for a really long time, hands down, Last US Bags, Rooftop Pannier. So again, there will be a link in the description below to all of the Last US Bag stuff on Overland Addict's website where you can buy it. So definitely check that out. Again, thanks to Last US Bags. I mean, you know, these guys are so much fun, and I just really like seeing their videos and like watching their stuff. And I love the thought and the care that they put into their packaging and their products. So that wraps up the review / features of the Last US Bag Rooftop Pannier. Again, I love this thing. It is just so nice. It is more pricey than those cheap, crappy ones you're going to find on Amazon, but I'm telling you, I've gone through several of those, and they are all junk. I can't even hardly use them. The shoes don't fit, or they're just really poorly made, really poorly designed. You can spend a little more on this and buy it once, and then you can use it for a long, long time. So definitely recommend it. Link in the description below if you're interested in that and you want to pick one up. Also in the description, links to Facebook, Instagram, my podcast. If you're into any of that stuff, if you want more All Things Overlanding, definitely check that out. I've also recently sort of started up a Patreon group. And the cool thing about this is I'm really trying to make it into like a really personalized, like small community where we all get to like hang out and chat about overlanding stuff, where I get to like preview like videos that are coming out in the future for you guys to see exclusively before they come out. Talk to you guys about like ideas for what you want to see, what kind of content you want me to make, all that kind of stuff. So I'm super excited about that. There's a couple people in there already, but I'd love to see more of you in there. If you're interested in that, definitely click through that link below to learn more. But again, thanks for watching the video. If it was helpful, click that thumbs up. If you're interested in seeing more videos, click that subscribe, click the bell to be notified when new videos drop. Again, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the comments. So talk to you later, and thanks again.